Hi guys, it's our last week of school. We've got like 2 more lessons to do, so let's go! Also, it's summertime, so I don't know how well you can hear that, but people are mowing their lawns, so I'm gonna be talking louder than them, hopefully, maybe. We'll see. Yay! So for today's lesson, we are working with mixed numbers and improper fractions. So before we go on to improper fractions, let me remind you what a proper fraction is. A proper fraction is any fraction whose numerator, the top number, is less than the denominator. So half is a proper fraction, 3/4 is a proper fraction, and 7/10 is a proper fraction. An improper fraction, on the other hand, is a fraction that is greater than or equal to one whole number piece thing. I'll show you what I mean. So for example, here are some improper fractions. 12/3, 17/4, and 23/10 are all improper fractions because the numerator is bigger than the denominator, which basically means you have more than one whole fraction thing piece. Let's talk about pizza. If I have 2 pizzas and I cut them directly down the middle, maybe one half is cheese, the other half is pepperoni, and for both of them for some reason, I don't know. Anyway, we have these pizzas and I divide them in half. Now, we eat 1.5 of our pizzas, and that is the proper way of saying that, 1.5. That is a mixed number, and that's proper, that's correct, that's how you would write that. To write that as an improper fraction, though, we would say that we ate 3 seconds, I guess, of pizza, because we ate the full 2 out of 2 pieces. We ate that whole thing, and then we ate half of what was left over. So if you add those 2 fractions together and you make it an improper fraction, it's written as 3 seconds rather than 1.5. So in this chapter lesson thing, what I'm going to be teaching you is how to change your proper fractions into an improper fraction and vice versa, kind of, sort of. We're going to take those improper fractions that I mentioned at the beginning of the lesson. So we've got 12/3, 17/4, and 23/10. Here's how you write those numbers as proper fractions. You would write 17/4 as 4 1/4. You would write 23/10 as 2 3/10. And 12/3 actually just becomes 4, and I'll show you how that works in a second. But anyway, you're going to get questions that are going to ask you to basically do something along these lines. They're going to ask you to draw circles that show 17/4 equals 4 1/4. Is how they're basically going to word those, but I just didn't word it like that because meh. So what you're going to do is you're going to make circles, and while you're making these circles, you're going to divide them up by your denominator. So in this case, our denominator is 4. So I'm going to draw circles and divide it into 4. So I've my first circle, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. Next circle, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm going to go on and draw as many circles as I need to get to that numerator in my improper fraction, which in this case is 17. So I needed to draw 5 whole circles divided into 4s in order to reach 17. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill in the circle. I'm going to fill it in by following along with my improper fraction. I'm going to fill up 17 little pieces of my circles. So, there we go. They're all nice and filled in now. And the way that I can check and make sure that my 17/4 is in fact equal to 4 1/4 is by doing this. I circle how many of my circles are completely full, which in this case is 4 full circles, and I see how much I have left over. In this case, it's 1/4. Well, wouldn't you know, 4 1/4 is exactly the mixed number that I'm supposed to have when it comes to 17/4. So that's how I check it. Let's do the next one, 23/10. Again, we're going to start by drawing our circles and dividing them into our denominator number, in this case 10. I can draw one circle, divide it into tens. I draw a second circle, I now have 20 pieces. I draw a third circle because I need to get to at least 23, so I now have 30 pieces total divvied up. Now I'm going to fill in my circle with the numerator in my improper fraction, in this case 23. So I'm going to fill up one circle entirely to 10, another circle all the way to 20, and then I'm going to shade in those last 3 in my last circle. Okay, and now I'm going to check it and make sure that it matches my mixed number. So I have 2 whole circles and 3/10 left over. So that is my mixed number. That is the number that I need, so we're good. This next one is a little weird because the improper fraction doesn't turn into a proper fraction, it just turns into a whole number. And that's okay. So this one, we have 12 thirds. This time I decided to do squares just for fun. They kind of look like rectangles though, but whatever. I'm going to first draw enough squares divided into 3 that I have 12 pieces total. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now I'm going to shade them in with the number of my numerator in my improper fraction. So I'm going to shade in 12 pieces. That's all of my pieces. All of my pieces have been shaded in. So I have 4 full boxes, 4 full squares completely shaded in. 4 is my proper fraction. So that means we're good. That's it. That one's a little weird. But that's why we like to teach fractions as like pizza or things that you can like usually pizza, pie, like things you can easily divide up. And like if I say, here you have 4 whole cakes, you ate 2/3 of them, how much cake do you have left? Like you can kind of visualize that a little easier than just me throwing out random numbers at you and hoping for the best. So alright, so that's what I've got for you for improper fractions and mixed numbers and how you draw circles and show that they're the same thing. Let me know if you have any questions on this or if you have any questions for the lesson. We've got this and then tomorrow's lesson and then corrections and then we're done. So keep on keeping on, you guys. We're almost there. Bye.